easy. He's wide open.
Yes, sir!
Lastimosa, another three. Yes!
Jerome Lastimosa, three!
Oh no! Triple for Jerome Lastimosa. Melesio all day to shoot. Gets it to go. Lasal is off and running. Melesio behind the back pass again. Justin Baltasar brings that baby home. Cani against Desiderio. The bang in the bucket. They swing it to Comboy, who's had the hot hand. Still finds a way. Fading away on one leg. Ildefonso will drive right. That's all muscle. Changes direction. Twice he does that. Navigates through Pasay traffic. A double-double performance for Philip Manalang. Straightaway jumper. Nothing but sweet string music. Manzo with a steal! All the way! That's one out of the back. Highlight the University of the Philippines after 32 years! CJ for three! Are you kidding me? Subido with a crossover. Subido for three! Renzo Subido! Ravenna leaves it for Edge. Oh! Here's Matt, the 30. Highlight coming. Two-hand slam. Dominance and the excellence of the Ateneo Blue Eagles continues.
Up bright and early on a Wednesday morning, October 9, 2019, and we go back here inside the historic Big Dome, the Araneta Coliseum, to bring you day number 15 of the UAAP Season 82 Men's Basketball Tournament. And as per usual, we have your Wednesday triple header on hand here, starting with a matchup of the National University Bulldogs against the FEU Tamaraos, followed by the UST Growling Tigers and the UA Red Warriors in our second game. And completing the cast today are the Ateneo Blue Eagles facing the Adamson Soaring Falcons. We thank you for catching all of the action right now live on SNA, SNA HD, Liga and Liga HD, sports.abs-cbn.com, and on the I1 tab. You guys have Martin Javier at your service for our first game today. And today I'm also working alongside former UP Fighting Maroon and resident SNA analyst. We have here Jet Manuel, and of course our two courtside reporters standing by right now representing NU side first. We got Bailey's Akot, and of course from FEU side we have Maris Domingo. I'll get to your stories in just a little bit. I'll go to Jet here first. Jet, we have a very interesting season shaping up here. Going into day 15, meron na tayong logjam right there in the team standings.
Yeah, like you said, very interesting. And this is the second games for respective teams in the second round, and it's going to be a huge opportunity. Yeah, we have a logjam in the middle as we, when we look at the standings. It's going to be a huge opportunity for both teams to either jump ahead or try to get back within striking distance of that Final Four. As you see the standings here, FEU smack in the middle, tied for third with three other teams, the DLSU Green Archers, the UST Growling Tigers, and of course them with a 4-4 record. FEU has a great chance to jump ahead and tie with UP in that second for that second place, and NU 1-7 record last in the UAP right now, but they still have a chance. It's not over for them, but they need this win. They need a repeat of their first round win against FEU to have an outside shot of that Final Four.
That's why day 15 is actually a big day here in the tournament. A lot of shaking up happening in the team standings after today. But again, you mentioned their first round encounter, NU versus FEU, and it happened at the tail end of the first round. It was unforgettable rather, in different ways. For NU, after 5 heartbreaking losses, they finally got into the win column after dominating FEU in that game. And for FEU, it is unforgettable because that was their lowest scoring output in the tournament by far.
That's right, unforgettable, but focusing on NU, unforgettable for them because that was their only win in that first round exactly 2 weeks ago. I actually covered that game. It was a huge defensive effort by them, and the likes of Dave Ildefonso and Barkley Ebonia coming out big. In that game, Dave Ildefonso really a great all-around offensive game. I think NU just really dominated and defended well, and Barkley Ebonia, the only bright spot, as he's 39 points. That's,
right.
That's I think the season low for the season, and is Barkley Ebonia just did all he could, 17 points and 12 rebounds and 3 blocks, but he was, like I said, the only bright spot for that team.
That's right, 19%, almost 19% shooting for the FEU Tamaraws in that game. Less than 10% shooting, I think, after the first quarter in that matchup. Of course, National University, that was their first and only win so far here in the season, because right after that, they went to 2 straight losses, including their most recent one against the De La Salle Green Archers. This team is peaking at the right time. DLSU dominating this one from the get-go. Did not leave any chances for NU in that game.
They opened with a 26-9 first quarter and never looked back as they beat NU in that game. It was a huge defensive effort on the part of the Archers, and NU just couldn't find anything. They couldn't find an offensive rhythm, and they couldn't get stopped. So 85-61, a huge margin of loss for NU, and they shot the ball, relatively poorly, 32%. But I think the huge thing is the second chance points, the huge offensive rebound. The bigs of NU couldn't keep up with the bigs of LaSalle, ending up with a huge second chance point advantage for them, and they couldn't find the open shooters. 5 assists to 14. In that game, only 5 assists, and they ended up only shooting 3 threes. So, it was a really poor offensive game for them, for NU. I think they have to pick it up in the defensive end to get rhythm for offense.
At nabiktima rin itong NU ng 25 and 25 explosion ni Balti Baltasar in that matchup in their previous game. Of course, NU would want to get back on the winning track here, but one thing remains consistent for them. It is the production of the Demolition Brothers, the Ildefonso brothers, but the biggest question mark for NU this year actually has been the support jet. Will they show up in today's game against the Tamaraws?
Well, the lone win that they had against the Tamaraws last in the first round, everyone contributed. So like you said, they need everyone to contribute. Yes, it will be led by the Ildefonsos. The Demolition Brothers, all Ildefonso in the game against DLSU, but like you said, it was only them. 11 points, 2 rebounds for Dave, and 10 points, 2 rebounds for Sean. They were the only players actually in that game for NU in double figures, and that can't happen if they wanna try to get more wins, especially in the second round. So aside from them, I think they just need to keep composed and keep consistent, but they need the bench and they need everyone else to help contribute.
And especially against the FEU Tamaraws today, who plays as a unit. And to know more about NU side and how they will get back on the winning track, here we have your NU courtside reporter, Baileys Akot. Baileys?
Martin and Jet, after going through a rough patch during the first round and starting off the second poorly with a double-digit loss to the DLSU Green Archers, one may wonder what keeps the Bulldogs going. Team captain Sean Ildefonso spoke on behalf of the team and told me that they continue to fight because 1, they play for each other, 2, for their families, and 3, for the name written across their chest. They play for each other because brotherhood was formed upon entering Season 82, and they play for their families because if it weren't for them, they wouldn't be where they are right now. Most especially, they play for the National University community because of the relentless support on and off the court. Now, it has been difficult for the Bulldogs not to feel blue after getting knocked down a bunch of times, but the will to fight has never been a problem. And to them, it's just all about keeping the faith and believing in one another. Now, with the strong support system that the Bulldogs have, they aim to relive their first round encounter with the FEU Tamaraws and grab their second win this UAAP Wednesday. Martin and Jet?
I like the composure. Thank you so much, Baileys. You've faced so many distractions while delivering your pregame and halftime reports this season. But let's talk about that brotherhood thing, Jet. We are hoping that translates on the court for the National University.
Exactly right. They have a lot of things to fight for, and it may be difficult right now for what they're going through and how to keep composed. But I think if they have a shot, they have a shot, and Coach Jamaic will do their best to keep the team together.
Now let's talk about the other side here. Their opponents the FEU Tamaraos. First winning streak of the season here for Coach Olsen and the rest of his guys. And each game, we always wonder which FEU version will show up. Is it going to be the hot shooting Tamaraos, or is it going to be the struggling FEU team? But in that game, strangely enough, Jet, that game against UP, both versions showed up. Third quarter, they dominated UP, got the separation, but they disappeared in the fourth quarter. Luckily for them, a lot of their veterans showed up in overtime to fend off UP.
Like you said, what version will they will come out? And I think the consistency is key for FEU. The last game, though, a huge win. No matter what you say, against the UP Fighting Maroons to start that second round, it was a huge overtime victory for them. The third quarter, they did get entering the fourth quarter off a 30-16 run. On that third quarter, they led as much as 19 points. But like you said, in that fourth quarter, UP just rallied back and they couldn't find an answer. And see the stats, 82-79, it's a great overtime win, good composure win. They shot great from the field, great offensive game for them, 47% as to 37% for UP, and 11 threes for FEU. They moved the ball a lot better, got more assists, and their field goal percentage is really sky high. So let's see if they can continue that, get that winning streak going, get their hot shooting moving forward into the second round.
It was a team effort, especially in overtime for the FEU Tamaraos. Pero I think this is a big sigh of relief for the entire FEU community, breaking out of his slump in that game. Ken Tuffin coming up big and fighting his rhythm from downtown.
Like you said, a huge breakout game for Ken Tuffin. A lot of players, a lot of people were waiting for him to actually explode. And did he explode at the right time against UP? A great shooting game for him, 18 points. 5 out of 6 from the three-point field goal, from the three-point line. So it's a good shooting game for him. The teammates did a great job to find him and to make sure to get him going. 5 rebounds and 1 steal. Ken Tuffin will always be there. He'll always be the vet that Coach Olsen will rely on and the team will rely on. So I hope there's a good sign for him. There's a good start last game. So let's see if FEU needs him to keep going to get more wins on that in the second round.
Perfect time really for Ken Tuffin to rediscover his touch here in the UAAP and on the court as well. But we know Coach Olsen and the rest of the coaching staff here would want to continue this winning streak after today's game. So let's talk to now Maurice Domingo coming from FEU's side regarding on how they're planning to doing that in this matchup against NU.
Well, Martin and Jet, exactly 2 weeks ago, the FEU Tamaraos faced an embarrassing loss against the NU Bulldogs, but now they are riding high after their back-to-back win against the Adamson Soaring Falcons and the UP Fighting Maroons. Now, what's impressive is that they were able to play after Coach Olsen Rosella challenged them to play with poise and to focus despite the pressure given by the talented Fighting Maroons with their big crowd. Coach Olsen reminded the team in order to maintain their success, they have to set their personal egos aside for the team. Dagdag pa niya, huwag isipin ang sarili at kung gustong umangat ay dapat ay kasama ang buong team. Team captain Ken Tuffin was also praised for his breakout offensive performance last time. Now he is focused on his defensive assignment against the Ildefonso brothers. Now FEU is slowly gaining momentum, and in today's game against the National University Bulldogs, they only want to apply what they were able to learn from their last matchup and of course charge up in their standings. Back to you, Martin and Jet.
Thank you, Maurice. That was a big character win for the FEU Tamaraos against the second placers right now, at least the UP Fighting Maroons, but also they want to bounce back after that first round encounter with NU. Jet, their worst offensive game of the season against this team. They want to avenge themselves here.
Well, they had momentum from the last game, so if they can just keep on going and focusing forward, moving forward, just like Coach Olsen is saying, I think they have a good shot at doing that today.
But our players' spotlight here will feature the 2 foreign student athletes from both sides. Isa Gaye versus Pachuente. This should be good, Jet.
It's a great matchup down low. We're going to see a lot of physical action between these two. Isa Gaye, if you look at his stats, though, I think he's underperforming in this season. 8 points, 9 rebounds, not even a double-double. And, they rely on him a lot. They need him. He's really the main man down low. So, even defensively, not even a block per game. So, I think he has to pick up his production for them to get success. And Pachuente, He's shown signs of brightness. He's shown, you know, in spurts that he can contribute, and some games he dominated, but I think it's just inconsistent for him. He needs to find more consistency with his stats, 9 points and 10 rebounds, and a little bit more than a block per game. So he's doing his job, but
yeah.
I think he can still produce a little bit more. So there's a great matchup down low for us to see.
But the glaring thing for me here for Isagaya is the field goal percentage. For a big guy and a center, he needs to do more offensively, or he needs to be more efficient on the floor here for National University. But Pachuente, again, coming off that big game, especially in that big matchup against Bright Acueti, he was able to deliver for the FEU Tamaraos, riding that momentum going into this game. All right, we are going to start off the action here with the National University Bulldogs now at 1-7. FEU Tamaraos at 4-4, right there in the middle of the pack here in UAAP Season 82. Gonna be interesting how these two teams will start this game. Pero ito yung magsisimula para sa NU Bulldogs. You got Enzo Hoson, Migs Oczon, Isagaya, RJ Minerva, and Dave Ildefonso. And FEU staying solid with LJ Gonzalez, Torres, Chuente, Bienes, and Stockton, with Wendell Comboy coming off the bench today again, Jet.
That's a little bit interesting to see. I think Coach Olsen is trying to see a little bit, or give a little bit more combinations and options that he can put in.
And our officials here at Will Whistle for today's game will be officiating this game between National University against Far Eastern University. And again, one factor also why Comboy is coming off the bench is the much-needed consistency and boost spark off the bench for the FEU Tamaraos. So here we go. Isagaye and Pachuente jumping it up here in our first game today to tip off day 15 of UAAP Season 82 Men's Basketball Tournament. First crack at the basket here for NU, and if you're NU and Coach Jamaica Ren, you want to get off to a hot start here, set the tone for this game, because that was, you know, you were not able to do that against De La Salle.
That's exactly what they did in the first game. So, you know, I think that's a point of emphasis for them. Start the game strong. I think everything will come after.
And for the FEU Tamaraos, had an excellent game offensively against UP. They go to Chuente right away, who misses the shot. Dave Ildefonso.
That pick and roll action, you saw Chuente actually roll to the basket, just couldn't make that shot.
Minerva, that was a good look from Minerva, though he missed the shot. LJ Gonzalez here. On top, almost losing it, feeding Cyrus Torres. Torres, who has been playing well for the FEU Tamaraos in the past few games, kicking it out. Bienes from the corner. Still no go for Bienes. And Ildefonso corrals the rebound. Dave attacking Stockton. The kick out here to Hoson. Calle putting it on the floor, out of control there against Chuente.
But you can see the aggressiveness. First two shot attempts by Isagaya. I think it's a point really that he has to get going offensively for them to have success today.
That's a good way. You attack the defense and make Pachuente work. Torres driving left, floating it up off the glass, no go. And here comes Hoson, running with it, and NU on the attack again. So first minute and a half, a series of misses from both sides to begin the game. Ildefonso, step back three, hand in his face, doesn't matter, he knocks it down.
That's just a great step back shot for Dave Ildefonso with Stockton all over him on that one.
And that's exactly how NU started this game, or that game against the LSU, with a three-pointer from Dave Ildefonso, and Torres answers right back with a three of his own.
So the field goals 1 out of 4 and 0 out of 3, except for that made basket by Cyrus Torres. He's really been shooting well for this team.
Here's the pass inside again to Gaye. Back to Gaye. Gaye attacks Chuente again. Awkward looking shot there from Isagaye.
And again, you can see Oczon really just feeding the ball back down to Isagaya, just failing to make that post shot.
I really want to get Isagaya going here early. Gonzalez, Chuente on the roll, running into trouble there, and that's an offensive foul against Pachuente.
That's a good draw charge for Minerva off that pick and roll. As you see here, though, step back. That's just a talent shot for Dave Ildefonso. That was over here, Cyrus Torres for that three.
So we counter threes here. Torres and Ildefonso to begin the game. 2.5 gone in the first quarter. Oxzon. Back to Isa Gaye. Gaye just inside the circle, losing possession. 2-on-2 break. Gonzalez has it. Stockton. The fake, the turn. Stockton, no good. And rebounded by Minerva.
See if NU will try to look for a different option now on offense.
Also, they go back to Gaye though, who got the pump fake and got Chuente to commit. And he got the basket on the drive.
Never mind what I said. They went back to Isagaya right away and he scored for them on that basket.
Oh, Chuente out of control. Stockton breaking free.
Stockton ending up with the ball on that scramble and just ended up with that layup.
That is our PS Bankable assist of the game for Pat Chuente. Parang PS Bank personal loan na maaasahan. Apply online. No collateral. Dave Ildefonso bothered inside. And there's going to be a foul here against the FEU Tamaraws. Let's take a look at this move by Isa Gaye, taking it strong to the basket. And right after, Alex Stockton picking it up off the scrabble and then laying it up and in.
Now Dave Ildefonso was able to draw that foul. He's one of the best penetrators to the ring. Knows what to do when he gets in that lane and in that possession. Just feeding his hand out and the swipe by FEU to draw that foul.
Excellent sophomore season so far for Dave Ildefonso. I think right now he's number 5 or number 6 in scoring in the league. 15.6 points per game right there.
Everything going for him though, but I think he would rather get more wins on that board, but he's doing everything he can.
An empty trip for Dave Ildefonso earlier. Gonzalez on top against Oxzon. Gonzalez driving left, feeding Chuente. Banks that one in, plus the foul. But Chuente with a 3-point play opportunity.
Got a field goal percentage. Both teams now 2 out of 6 from the field. Except for this end one basket, the great drive and dish by LJ Gonzalez. Getting in the lane and dishing it off to Pat Chuente underneath the basket for that end one.
And how about the progression this year of Pat Chuente? Initially, in the first few games, a non-factor for FEU on both ends of the floor. But we've seen the improvement. His footwork, his soft touch around the basket, that has improved as we went along the season.
I think he just needed a little bit more games to feel more comfortable, you know, in the bright lights of the UAAP.
Oson missing from the corner. And that's a rebound for LJ Gonzalez. 4 minutes gone. Gonzalez, denied up top by Oxzon.
Just the speed of Gonzalez, able to find the crevices and creep into the lane, but great defense by Oxzon over there to get that block. See over here, great anticipation.
Yeah. But that was a sudden acceleration of LJ Gonzalez there. Oh, he throws the ball away. Ildefonso all alone. Ildefonso lays it up.
One of the easiest baskets that Dave is going to see today. Bad pass off that inbound. Up in the hands of Dave.
There's communication coming from FEU. Let's see how they will counter here. Stockton to the corner. Bienes. Second miss off that spot coming from Bienes. Oson. The feed to Minerva. Stops on a dime. Running into trouble. They go to Gaye. Gaye. Short hook is good.
See that turnovers though. 7 turnovers for FEU and just 1 for NU.
Isa Gaye with a Yamaha Mio #1 move. And NU takes back the lead here, 9-7. No longer though, as Bienes scores the floater.
Just poor defense though for NU. That's too easy a basket against for FEU.
That's right. Ildefonso. As we reach our Gatorade hydration checkpoint here in the first. Oxzon. Back to Oxzon on top against Gonzalez. Shot clock reads 4. Oxzon, scoop and the hoop off the glass and in. And that trickles in for Oxzon here. NU back in front by 2. Under 5 minutes remaining here in the opening frame. Back inside the Big Dome here in the Araneta Coliseum. Still in our first game today, NU versus FEU. And FEU at 4-4 right now, NU at 1-7. And we talked about earlier, Jet, that NU needs support. Aside from the Ildefonso brothers, they could be getting it from Diputado and Gallego.
Well, they have the talent off that bench, but it's a matter of them contributing versus the Green Archers. Single-digit scoring for these two, very capable of scoring double digits, so the absence really was felt by NU in that game against the South.
There's the counter-attack coming from FEU. Let's see what they can do here, but same unit on the floor here for National University as Hoson pushes it the other way. Chuente bothering that shot. Comboy now on the floor for FEU alongside Barkley Iboña. Here comes Barkley, the kick out. Torres, the open look. No good.
Open look for Torres, one of the better shooters as you see now. Wendell, Comboy, and Iboña coming in now to the game to provide that punch off the bench.
Oxon pulls the trigger. Chuente with the rebound. And handing it over right away to LJ Gonzalez here. A bit of a dry spell for FEU in this stretch. Chuente. They go to Barkley Iboña here against Minerva.
That's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. Get in the post and create something.
Oh, but a wayward shot there off the turnaround from Barkley. Good defense right there coming from Minerva. Ildefonso. The crossover, the sidestep, feeding it to Gayabat. Well read by Gonzalez. Here comes Iboña on the move. Oh, he is called for the turnover, talking about Barkley Iboña.
That is, I think, a traveling violation. A little bit too much dribbling for Iboña. Should have dished it off early to the corner with a wide open teammate.
So JLC, John Lloyd Clemente, off the bench here, coming in for Dave Ildefonso alongside Sean Ildefonso here. And also JP Gallego now on the floor for NU.
Here's the test now, the second unit on the floor. Let's see if they can produce, which they need to do against FEU today.
Solid job by the first unit. Oh, Ildefonso losing it out, so that's a turnover for the Bulldogs.
I think it's just poor spacing. The attack of Oxon and Sean was stationed underneath the paint, so just a little bit of miscommunication in that part on offense.
3:20 to go here in the opening quarter. Oh! Almost a steal, but Nunag picks it up. Floater for FEU, no good. Nunag tapping it out. And tapping it outside. So NU gets it back. Another almost miscommunication earlier from the FEU Tamaraws.
The field goals now, 5 out of 12 for NU. And 4 out of 14. So both teams not really shooting well.
Right.
You can credit the defense of FEU and NU against one another. Let's see now with Ken Tuffin coming in the game. Let's see if he can repeat his great offensive game last game against UP.
Let's see if he can stay consistent here against NU. Tuffin in for the first time. Alongside Bangel for NU. Ildefonso, Gallego driving left, the kick out.
Uh-oh.
And he stepped outside, so that's a turnover here for NU.
Stepped outside, a great switching defense. You see FEU's guards and even Tuffin, the ability to switch around the three-point line with all the handoffs going on by NU contributed to that stop.
So NU's second unit off to a rocky start here. Back-to-back turnovers for them. Hubert Cani. They go to Nunag. Hounded here by Diputado. The kick out. Comboy pulls the trigger. Back rims the shot. Rebounded by Iboña.
That's what he does. You know, Iboña loves offensive rebounds, and he got one right there.
Cani to the other side. Comboy moving closer. Hits the floater in the lane.
What a shot by Ino Comboy, getting in the lane for that floater.
Comboy with a Jollibee 100% amazing move of the quarter. And FEU squares up here at 11.
Here we go with those handoffs again and the switching defense of FEU.
Gallego, turnaround jumper, difficult shot. Bangel with the offensive rebound, and he puts it back in.
Save by Bangel in that offensive rebound.
So NU back in front by 2. Cani the kick out. Tough fit for 3. No good for his first shot off the game. And here comes JV Gallego. Gallego on the attack. Forced that one up again.
That's what he does though. JV Gallego loves to get in the lane and try to make something out of nothing. Nothing though in that play.
Yeah, both trips unsuccessful for JV Gallego. Toughen from the corner this time.
Toughen is feeling it, still feeling it from last game. 2 shots consecutively off that 3, but those were great looks for him and he's gonna want to take those.
Both had good lines. So let's see how NU can counter here. Ooh, offensive foul against Bangel.
Is that off the screen?
Yeah. There's the shot earlier by Gallego. Our McDonald's instant replay. And the cleanup job coming from Bangel underneath.
Right place at the right time for Bangel, just ending up with the ball in his hands.
That's going to be very important here. We are playing a very gritty game, Jet, with both teams shooting poorly from the field. Comboy, another floater. This time it's off. Barkley Ibonya. Cleanup job on their side of the floor.
And talking about Ibonya, he loves to do that. That's his strength, and you know, it amazes me how he can do that consistently every game, just ending up with offensive rebound and putting it back in.
It's another offensive rebound in his name. Diputado off the spin. Bothered by Ken Tuffin there. Comboy on the move. Comboy against Sean, feeding it inside. Nunag was too deep.
Too deep indeed. Masyadong malalim. Tumama sa ilalim ng ring.
Here's the kick out. Clemente just forcing one up. Thought he had a foul there, but nothing was called. 13 seconds to shoot for NU. Here's the cut. Clemente floats it in.
Clemente.
So JLC with a bucket for our master play of the game. NU with a 2-point lead. Comboy too strong on that one. Tuffin retrieves it. And that's the last shot of the first quarter here.
The end of the first quarter.
So a neck-to-neck, toe-to-toe first quarter we just saw from NU and FEU. But the Bulldogs maintaining the 2-point. Back to the ball game as we resume day 15 of your UAAP Season 82 Men's Basketball Tournament. Second quarter almost underway of this matchup between the FEU Tamaraos and the NU Bulldogs. And for our fans abroad, a quick reminder, you guys may watch UAAP Season 82 on CFC Online, available from premium subscribers, or you can purchase the UAAP Season 82 Men's Basketball Season Pass for only $299. There you go. That's for our fans abroad. Going back to the action here, you guys have Martin Javier, Jet Manuel breaking this game down alongside our courtside reporters, Bailey's Accord, and of course Maris Domingo. Jet, your impressions of our low-scoring first quarter earlier?
Well, it's just a great defensive effort for both teams, FEU and NU, limiting the chances. FEU, though, had better attempts off that three-point line, but couldn't convert, shooting 1 for 9 only from that 3.
And just to paint you guys a better picture, you saw earlier the field goal percentage, 38% for NU and 27% coming from the Tamaraos in that first frame. 5
turnovers for NU and 3 for FEU, so just great defensive effort for both teams.
And Rangel has been working hard for the NU Bulldogs here, getting them the second chances, although he couldn't clean up the mess that time around. And 15-13 still is the score. Ball goes back to the Tamaraws here, who is starting with Tuffin, Kani, Ebonia, Comboy, and Alex Stockton on the floor. On the other side for NU, you got Diputado, Ildefonso, Gallego, Rangel, and of course, Jongnoy Clemente. Stockton got free. Good dish inside to Barkley Ebonia.
That's just a drive and kick action of FEU. Stockton able to drive inside and dish it down to his teammate Ebonia.
And Stockton with a Manulife Vision player of the game. What a dish for Alex Stockton to tie things up here at 15 all. Ildefonso challenging the D.
That's just a size and length advantage of Tuffin in that possession. Able to block that shot, not being beat by Sean.
Hubert Kani. The kick out here to Stockton. They go to Ebonia at the post, who leaves it for Comboy for 3. That's a little bit too strong, but Tuffin gets the offensive rebound, though he stepped on the baseline there. So NU gets it back.
Here we go, that drive. That's just a great hop step move. Not a lot of players can do that. Then just dish to his teammate underneath Ebonia. Great positioning underneath the basket.
Like how the way he erased the first line of defense to get the help to open up Barkley Ebonia there. So LJ Gonzalez back quickly for FEU alongside Cyrus Torres.
Blocks now. It's 1 block for NU and 2 for FEU. The length of Tuffin there bothering Sean, getting that block on that last defensive play. You can see Stockton really hounding Dave for full court. And the help defense of Tuffin really focusing on Dave today.
Stockton picks it up. And FEU gets the steal. Stockton down the lane. The kick out. Gonzalez. Too strong on the 3. Still struggling from the outsider, the FEU Tamaraws.
FEU now 1 for 10 from that 3-point line. So those are looks that they want to take, and they're going to need to take them and make them throughout this game.
Dave got inside, and he is able to draw the foul in the process. That's going to be against Ken Tuffin here.
That possession though, he got his shoulder down, he was able to beat him, beat his hip. That drive, just the aggressiveness of Tuffin trying to stay in front, they be able to draw that foul.
So far, Jet, this is clearly a much better outing here in the second round for the FEU Tamaraws, because in their first round encounter, according to our Sultan of Stats, Bong Ducanes, as Clemente strokes in the 3, FEU reached 15 points in the 3rd quarter.
I covered that game, and it was a struggle for them. It was a struggle for me. I felt the frustration and not being able to make open layups. So, better this game, but not as good as they performed again in their last game against UP.
That's right. I think they only had 13 in the first half against NU as Ildefonso knocks it down.
Dave Ildefonso reading that under defense by Stockton, going under that pick and roll D and just rising up and shooting for that 3.
Back-to-back hits from the outside for the NU Bulldogs creates them the 6-point separation going into this timeout. Back to the game here. NU with a 6-point lead, courtesy of their back-to-back 3-pointers earlier. The latest one coming from Dave Ildefonso from the top of the key. Our BDO Coaches Winning Ways working right now in the second quarter for Coach Jamaic Harin.
That's just what Coach Jamaic does. He really gets in your face and wants you to do the right thing.
And now NU with a 6-point lead. That's a traveling violation called against Alex Stockton.
FEU really loves to do that. Off that inbound, attacking straight away. I think they have a set for this. Not just setting up in the half court, but a full court set. Able to get open threes.
And for FEU, that's not what you want. A key turnover to open the door here for NU again. Gaye got in, no good. Here's the rebound, the putback. Oh, that's gonna drop here for Malonzo.
Immediately picking up full court for both teams, doubling the inbound play.
So now NU opening up their biggest lead of the game at 8 points. Gonzalez stopping on the dime. Here's the kick out to Torres. Cyrus Torres. They got 7 seconds to work with. Step back jumper coming from Torres is off. And Bienes called for the push on the rebound play there.
It's a little bit too aggressive as he though, that offensive rebound and that putback.
And Malonzo putting it back in. McDonald's instant replay here. The second stringer bigs of NU working hard here and cleaning up the mess for the National University Bulldogs. Ildefonso went around the defense. Oxon on top, driving right. Gaye from mid-range. Doesn't get the bounce.
You know, sometimes you think you'd want him to take it inside, but that's really a shot. He's been making it consistently throughout the season. Mid-range jump shot is a good weapon to have for a big.
That's right. Cyrus Torres. He's got Bienes at the post against JLC here, facing up, back down. The fine Chuente, bothered by Isagaye there. He is able to draw the foul against Gaye. A couple of opportunities at the free throw line coming up for Chuente.
That just came off that read in the mismatch on the post. But we see here, the low score, we talk about the low score for both teams. NU is really 7th in the league, 70.3 points per game, and FEU last in the league in scoring with 65.8 points. So, you know, it may seem like an offensive struggle, but that's been their rankings throughout the season.
Both low-scoring teams here. And again, in regulation against UP, FEU was only able to tally 69 points. It was 69 all going into overtime, so a little bit over their average in that matchup as Chuente here heads to the free throw line. A non-factor so far for FEU, and he misses the second. Ildefonso bothered from behind by Comboy. Dave, pull-up jumper, too strong. Chuente pulls it down.
You know, Comboy doing just enough to change that jump shot by Dave Ildefonso, ending up with a miss.
Comboy for 3, and he breaks the dry spell from the outside for the Tamaraws.
You know, Comboy knowing a great shooter, wide open look for him in that play.
Comboy's triple are what a flakes, kakaibang move. 23-19, lead is down to 4. Gaye on the drive off the glass and in again.
This time not settling, Isa Gaye. Missing his jump shot a while ago, now ending up, you know, realizing he wants to take it hard to the hole to Chuente, challenging him in the ring.
So Gaye moving with a lot of confidence now against Chuente.
The 3-point field goal, 3 out of 6 for NU.
A good layup right there for LJ Gonzalez, who had Gaye approaching him in the second line.
2 out of 12 for FEU. They're gonna have to shoot better now.
Ildefonso, the feed again. Isa Gaye, one dribble in. Gaye save, moves, same result.
What a great pass by Dave Ildefonso.
As we reach our Gatorade hydration checkpoint, lead is back to 6 points for NU. Comboy thought about it. The kick out to Bienes, who had daylight to shoot, no good. And Gaye cracks the ball down.
Another missed 3-point shot for FEU. But that's still a wide open shot. Coach Olsen can take that.
Ildefonso, back to Dave. He drives left. Ildefonso, scoop and the hoop in the lane. And NU just countering the runs of FEU here in the second quarter. They restore the 8-point lead. 29-21. NU with an 8-point lead. We are halfway done here in the second quarter, 4.5 minutes to be exact. And for the FEU Tamaraos, this guy has been the missing link so far. Career best numbers for LJ Gonzalez, both in points and in rebounds. And he also had 6 times against UP.
That's just a huge double-double for Gonzalez in that game. A point guard getting 12 rebounds, and he led the team in rebounds and assists in that game with 6. So it's a huge offensive output for him, and they're going to need him. They're going to rely on him in the second round.
And Tuffin off the timeout for the FEU Tamaraos, knocking down the triple from the corner.
Just like I talked about a while ago, they love to do that off that baseline inbound on the other end, the full court offensive set for them with a corner 3-point shot.
So Ildefonso floats it up. Got an answer for NU, but Aye ends up with it and puts it back in. Plus the foul for Isagaye.
And that's the matchup that we talked about before the game. But you see here that full court offensive set for them. A drive and kick. Can't tough him with that 3, but Isagaye ending up with that rebound in his hands and just taking it up strong against his the matchup down low, Pat 20 and 1 basket.
And Isagaye, we mentioned earlier, is averaging over 9 points per game. Now he has eclipsed his average in the season with 10 points, and we're just here in the first half. Basil Defonso here also in double figures for NU so far.
So these two, you know, the inconsistency or the underperformance of Isagaye coming out strong in this game. So it's a great start for him.
Torres for 3, rimming out. And a rebound ending up with Enzo Hoson. Hoson is on the move. Hoson. Oxon giving it out to Dave Ildefonso. They got a lot of time to work with here. Oxon from the corner. That's off. Chuente pulls it down.
That was a good look off that drive by Dave, passing it to the corner for Oxon to take that 3.
Comboy, the dish out, but Comboy a little bit out of control on the drive. Chabot goes back to NU with that FEU turnover. And Isagaye right now 11 points across his name alongside 6 rebounds.
See, that's just what we're talking about. Eclipsing his season average. We're not even at halftime yet. So the focus of NU to start the game and get him going inside has paid dividends for them. 11 points, the 3-minute 30 mark in this second quarter.
And also a very efficient day from the field so far for Isagaye. 5 out of 9. Only shooting almost 42% in the season. Hoson, they go back to Isa. Gaye got the step and the hop and the foul against Chuente.
Again, a different Isagaye in this game. Usually he will settle and take that jump shot as you saw there, but no. Driving it inside, taking it to the big man down low, back Chuente. Couldn't make it, but he got the foul.
And you can tell that was part of the game plan for the NU Bulldogs today. Give it to Isagaye inside and challenge the defense of Pachuente. Nunag on your screens right now. Back in the game for FEU, so it's Nunag, Kani, Stockton, Tuffin, and Chuente now on the floor for the Tamaraos.
Sometimes you have to wonder, what did Coach Jamaic emphasize Isagaye? Ano kaya sinabi niya? You know, we're in the second game of the second round. And this is where we're seeing a huge turnaround in the game for Isagaye.
Mukhang mahabang pep talk.
Habang usapan.
Habang usapan yung nakuha ni Isagaye from Coach Jamaica rin. But Gaye's activity has created this 10-point lead in the second quarter. Kani, pass is picked off. Gaye picks it up. And NU has a chance to increase their lead.
Poor decision by Hubert Kani on that play. He opted off that drive to pass down low, but his teammate was wide open in the 3-point line.
Hoson. Ildefonso on top. Step back jumper. Dave, too strong. And rebound ending up with Hubert Kani. Kani is on the move. Kani got the fake, but he traveled because he slipped when he stopped.
As Hubert Kani back-to-back turnovers, just couldn't find a way to stop. Isagaye's numbers, 13 points, eclipsing, like we talked about, a season average of 8.8 points per game.
A lot of activity here from Isagaye, their leading scorer so far, and NU has their biggest lead of the game. Back to the ball game here. A 10-point lead mounted by the NU Bulldogs here in the second quarter, led by the production of Isagaya. 13 points so far, 9 coming here in the second quarter alone.
See Pat Fuente now taking a seat on the bench, and Ebonia taking the responsibility of guarding Isagaya.
So the adjustment has been made for the FEU Tamaraos. Gaye missing the jump shot. Hubert Cani against Hozon. Hozon running into a wall. Cani will set the table now for the Tamaraos. Nunag back outside. Hubert got the jab. Nunag for 3. Short, doesn't get the bounce, and rebounded by Dave Ildefonso.
Another missed three-point shot. Only 2 players were actually holding the ball in that play, Hubert Cani and Nunag.
So Ildefonso here. Oh, a pickpocket by Stockton. And Stockton completes the steal. Last touch on Dave Ildefonso there.
That's the calling card of Stockton. He always picks up the best player of the opposing team, and he loves to get in their heads. In that play, though, was able to use his length to pick the ball out of from behind of Dave. That turnover.
Nasundutan ni Stockton itong si Ildefonso, and you love the dive right after by Alec. Royce Alforque enters the game for the first time for FEU.
And turnovers this quarter, 4 now for FEU and 2 for NU, so a huge turnover problem by FEU.
Stockton. Back the step. Stockton just forced it up. Nothing there, but ball remains with FEU here with a fresh 14 to work with.
FEU really having trouble to find good baskets. That play, it's a tough shot for Stockton.
And again, NU has been playing good defense na sumasabay dun sa struggles ng FEU dito on the floor. Good dish! The drop-off pass coming from Stockton to Tuffin inside. Howard Jollibee, 100% amazing move of the quarter.
That's just a drive and dish. You know, it started actually from the drive of Ebonia from the top against Isagaye. And his teammates just fed off it and Tuffin with a basket underneath.
Ildefonso. The fake goes under. That's a foul on Ken Tuffin.
Oh, Tuffin wants the foul on the floor. But the refs are calling it a shooting foul. I think an act of shooting.
So 2 shots coming up for David Ildefonso. Here's the replay. Got the initial fake and then got him there. Looked like Tuffin had a case, Jeff.
Oh yeah, I think even after that, the contact and the motion, Dave was trying to dish it off underneath to Isagaye. So, you know, the ref saw otherwise. I think the motion just led, or they felt it was a shot already.
It wasn't a clear shot attempt for Dave Ildefonso, but nonetheless, the call staying here. Ildefonso 2 chances at the free throw line, missing on the first. So new players on the floor for National University here. You got Patrick Yu, you got Mangayo on the floor as well, alongside John Galinato, who entered earlier, I think with 3 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
Our question was if the second unit can provide a scoring punch or maintain at least the energy of the first unit, but looks like they're doing a great job.
Yeah. So far, so good for NU. Tuffin leaving it for Alforque. Alforque zigzagging the dish inside to Barkley Ebonia, who converts and won. An opportunity at the line for Barkley.
That came off the drive from Alforque, getting in the lane, forcing the help off the big man, and you know the guy right place at the right time for Ebonia. And 1 basket.
And earlier, off the drive, it was Stockton driving and dishing it down low to Tuffin. Now it's Alforque and Ebonia connecting for FEU. 35-28 averages here of Barkley Ebonia. Again, the lone bright spot in their first round encounter with the Bulldogs.
And shining again today. He's doing a great job, really one of the most consistent players for Coach Olsen.
And his activity keeping FEU afloat here in the first half. Galinato the step back. He drops it in.
Wow, wow, what a tough shot by Galinato. A step back 3.
37-29. That was a long 2.
A long 2. Okay, confirmed the long 2. Step back long 2. Tough shot nonetheless.
Yeah. Cani The dish out, Comboy pulls the trigger. He knocks it down again.
Talking about tough shots, and this time, for sure, a three-point shot by Ino Comboy.
So we trade baskets here in this stretch, and FEU are within 5 points with that triple coming from Comboy. And we go back to the action here inside the Big Dome. 37-32 with 15.4 seconds remaining in the first half here. NU still has the lead. 5 points to be exact. Led by as many as 10 points here in the second quarter. And we take a look at this jumper. Clearly stepped on the line from Galinato, but answered right back here by the triple of the veteran Ino Comboy.
Great shots on both ends of the floor for both NU and FEU, so it might be picking up an offensive game now for both teams.
Last shot time for the Bulldogs. Ball in the hands of Gallego. Gallego carving space, getting inside and getting the last laugh here in the first half. What a shot coming from Gallego there as he extends the lead back up to 7 points. 39-32 for National University here at halftime. Analysis, highlights, reports from our courtside reporters later on when we return here. Back to the ballgame here in the UAAP Season 82. At halftime, it is NU with a 39-32 lead over FEU. Now we're going to take a look at our PS Bankable Fan of the Game. fans of the FEU Tamaraos up early on a Wednesday morning here inside the Big Dome. Deposit checks in a snap with PS Bank Mobile. Download now. That is our PS Bankable fan of the game. And a quick reminder for our UAAP fans here. Kapamilya, commute warrior ka ba? Sa ABS-CBN TV Plus Go, masusurvive mo na ang stress ng araw-araw na traffic. Haba ng pila at hassle ng commute. Catch the UAAP live as there's no data charges while watching TV Plus Go on Facebook. Visit that site to know more. And also, show some support for your team. Shop now for official licensed UAAP merchandise at www.uaapstore.com. A lot in store for you when you visit that site. Again, that's uaapstore.com. And you guys can also catch all of the action here in the UAAP Season 82 Men's Basketball Tournament on the iWant app. Just download the iWant app or go to www.iwant.ph/sports and watch the games live and on replay anytime, anywhere. And lastly here, this is happening this coming Sunday. Brandon Vera challenges for 2 division title holder Ang Lanang Sang's one lightweight world title. And that's happening this Sunday while the greatest rivalry in one history comes to a conclusion with the reigning kingpin, Bibiano Fernandez, facing Kevin the Silencer Bellingon, an unprecedented 4th time for the one bantamweight world title here. And catch the live broadcast of the 1 century 100 fight match for one championship on October 13, right after the UAAP, only here on SNA, the home of one championship. So later on, halftime stats and analysis when we return. We'll be right back here in the UAAP Season 82. We resume the coverage, and at the half, it is the NU Bulldogs with a 7-point lead, 39-32 against the FEU Tamaraos here. Once again, you guys are joined by Martin Javier and Jet Manuel here in the coverage, breaking this game down. First quarter, it was low scoring, Jet, with FEU up, or NU rather, up by 2 points. But it was a different story when we went to the second quarter. NU saw a lot of chances. They found their solid offensive options to be led by Dave Ildefonso and, of course, Isagaya.
That first quarter, just a great start by both Dave and first half actually, but both Dave and Isagaya, they had you know, a more of an emphasis to get Isagaya going, and did he get going indeed. So, but I think the defensive effort for both teams was really evident. Not really a high scoring or high shooting percentage game for both teams, but you know, it's just a tit for tat game, close game right now for both.
That's right, but it took a while. Initially, that was the game plan for NU, to dump it inside to Isagaya. Gaya struggled in our first quarter, only scored 4 points, but exploded in this second frame. As we take a look at the highlights here, scoring 9 out of 13 points, or out of his 13 points in the first half in that second frame.
I think it's both teams got into a better offensive rhythm.
Right.
The question was with the second unit of NU coming in, and I think they came in strong. They held the lead down. With FEU rallying back, answering back each run of NU, and the steady vets for FEU really coming to life. Toughen getting a few baskets, and Ino Comboy, but Dave Ildefonso and the rest of the gang, Isagay especially, just willing his team to stay in that lead. But the second unit has been key for them, as JV Gallego and a couple of other guys came in the game and contributed well for NU.
And Gallego got the last basket of that first half. That drive in the lane, got inside and got the hoop. Barkley Ibonya was the spark off the bench for the FEU Tamaraos. That's why the Tamaraos was able to keep themselves afloat against NU in the first half.
Well, just like how NU performed in that first half, the first round, they came out of this game 44% field goal shooting to start this game against FEU, so they're doing a great job on offense. 24 points in the paint, contrary to FEU settling for threes, only 16 points in the paint. But FEU finding more assists in the department, 9 to 5. I think NU doing more of an individual effort, but the turnover story is just a tied thing for them, 7 points apiece. So it's going to be interesting what will shift now for both teams in that second half. Will NU continue to score well, or will FEU try to find their 3-point shots landing?
And you see here the top performers, again from 15-13. Our scoring went up to 24-19 in the second quarter. Gaye leading the way above his average with 13 points. And on the other side, you got Wendell Comboy scoring 8 for FEU.
Well, it's just the Isagaye emphasis. Really, they went to him down low, and he has responded. 13 points and 6 rebounds, leading the categories for both. And I think it's just going to be a great thing to see how Isagay, how they will continue to get him aggressive. But if for FEU, they need their 3-point shots to fall down. They're going to have to rely on their veteran Stuffin and Ino Comboy to come out alive in the second half.
This is a pivotal game for both of these teams. Let's go first to FEU's side here. Let's see what their game plan for the second half is. Go ahead, Maurice.
Well, gentlemen, it is not a secret that the NU Bulldogs will be hungry for their second win against FEU and will show aggressiveness inside the court. And we've seen how NU and FEU fought side by side in the first quarter, but both have been struggling in the offensive and defensive side. In the start of the second quarter, Coach Olsen Rosella reminded the boys to keep up with the fast pace of the game. He said, whatever happens, immediately spring back. Unfortunately, we're struggling inside. That's why we fall short on offense. Because of that, in the huddle, the bench players we're encouraging the players, and we're shouting, "Bawi tayo, bawi lang at magtulungan." In the last 2 minutes, team captain Kenneth Southland pleaded the boys and said, "No breakdowns for the last 2 minutes." After the first half in the dugout, Ken Southland highlighted 2 things: to focus on defense and to play together. Sabi niya, "We know that the problem is on defense, kaya wag na lang natin iwan ang isa't isa at magtulungan para manalo." Well, that's it for the FEU side. Back to you, Martin and Jet.
Thank you so much, Maurice. Well, maraming ang pwedeng bumawi para dito sa FEU Tamaraos. A lot of their guys, their usual suspects on offense, Jay Gonzalez, Cyrus Torres, Pat Chuente rather, still not yet in the groove here in this matchup.
Well, like you said, these are key players, and they need to get in the offensive rhythm for them to really come out with a win today. But, I think Kentoffen did a great job in gathering his team. They have to start on defense. Maybe they can get something off the defensive end first, create turnovers, and then translate it to offense.
That's going to be the game plan for FEU. Now we go to NU's side here, and we know that NU knows that no lead is safe here in the UAAP. So let's hear it from NU's side. We have here Bailey's Akot. Bailey's?
Martin and Jet, as the saying goes, you can bring the horse to the river, but you cannot force the horse to drink. Now the Bulldogs being reminded of the coaching staff, reminding the Bulldogs rather, that they can feed them with all the information and instructions to be able to win in this game, but it is still up to them kung gugustuhin nila manalo. Now the Bulldogs also being reminded of the opportunity of playing in the UAAP, na hindi lahat nakakapaglaro dito, kaya they should grab this opportunity, play like it's their last, at ipaglaban nila ang isa't isa. And that is why the Bulldogs started the game with high energy and good composure, resulting to them leading the first half. Now for the next 20 minutes, the Bulldogs were told to continue being aggressive on defense and to continue dictating the tempo on offense. Martin and Jet?
Thank you so much, Baileys. They had a better game plan going into the second quarter here against the FEU Tamarao, so we'll see if they'll be able to sustain that in the second half against FEU. And speaking of second half, coming up next when we return right here on SNA. Second half almost underway here inside the Big Dome, the Araneta Coliseum. Our Coho creating beautiful plays. FEU Tamaraos with the execution here. Stockton to Comboy, or to Hubert Kani rather, to Wendell Comboy, who scored that triple earlier. Again, that is our Coho making beautiful plays here. Third quarter almost underway. You guys still have Martin Javier, Jet Manuel, Bailey's Akot, and Maris Domingo at the helm of this coverage. NU right now with a 7-point lead, 39-32. They're at 1-7 right now. So technically speaking, this is a much more important game for the FEU Tamaraos, who is now in the middle of the pack, in the middle of the Final Four race. With a win today, they get a better edge, a better separation out of those teams.
Yeah, that's right. 4-4, and if they win this game, they're gonna jump to a 5-4 record, tying with the UP Fighting Bruins. It's gonna be a huge game. Of course, you're gonna say it's an opportunity because FEU is going up against the lowest ranked team. So, quote unquote, it's a must win or it's a have to win for them, because these are the types of games, Martin, that when you come up to the edge of the season,
right,
and then you're one win behind reaching the Final Four. These are the games that you really look at.
Yun yung pinabalikan mo, tapos sayang you weren't able to get the opportunity and take advantage. But NU here, they have other things in mind. They're 1-7 right now, but they're very hungry to win this game, and they want to snap also their 2-game losing skid after this game. And Minerva starting off strong here for National University, knocking down the triple right away.
Better offensive start, keeping up their start for NU with that 3-point shot.
Oh, Chuente with a rim rattler there, punishing the rim. Really towering over everybody there. Has an opportunity at the free throw line. Chuente, pure gold, always panalo move.
First team foul.
What a dunk by Pat Chuente, starting the second half with a statement dunk over Isagay. A great drive and dish though by FEU.
And that's how you re-announce your presence in this ball game. Pachuente also completing the free-point play. Earlier, it was announced as a long two for Minerva. So it's 41-35. You see the starters here for National University as Ildefonso strokes the triple in.
That one was a three-point shot way behind the line for Dave Ildefonso, just, looking away and then just rising up above him for the three-point basket.
Let's take a look at this move. Stockton with the dish, and Chuente had the open lane for the two-hander.
That's just a great dunk. And Dave Ildefonso, just taking his time, sizing up the defense, sizing up the distance of the ring, and rising up for a three-point jump shot.
Chuente, out of control on the reverse. A little wild on that one was Chuente. So Hosson here will handle the rock for NU.
LJ Gonzalez now back in the game. Let's see if he can get his rhythm going.
What a move coming from Dave Ildefonso, slithering his way to the hoop. And they get the steal. Domino's Pizza, what a delivery play earlier coming from Dave.
That's a great offensive game for Dave Ildefonso. Outside, inside, outside, inside again. He's doing it from everywhere.
That's really in his groove. He's got 5 points here in the third quarter. In the first minute and a half of the third quarter, that is. Minerva. No good on the shot. Chuente pulls it down. And here comes Ino Comboy.
It's an 11-point game now for FEU, so they have to trim it down to single digits.
Stockton, open look. Could not take advantage. And here's Hosson bringing it downhill for NU. White shirts with the 11-point lead. 46-35. Ildefonso, another step-back jumper. Back rims that one, but a foul was whistled against Stockton.
That's just a bad foul on Stockton. Fouling a three-point shooter. One of the cardinal sins of defense, but Dave Ildefonso just slicing and dicing inside, sidestepping, getting that shot.
And Dave, this was the attempt earlier, fouled. Stockton got him on the arm there, so Dave Ildefonso extra aggressive to begin the third quarter here. He's got 6 points so far, or 16 points so far rather, just over his average of 15.6 points per game.
17 now, so they have a 12-point lead, and Dave has a great offensive game. That's really the trend of NU, so a lot of weight on his shoulders, but for Dave, a young player, you want that responsibility, and he's been stepping up.
And what a run here. A 9-3 start for the NU Bulldogs to open up their biggest lead of the game at 13. Back to the game here, and here is our BDO Coaches Winning Ways, Coach Olsen Bracella, assembling his players here. And let's see if their game plan can work here in the third quarter. The counter adjustment should be in full effect for the FEU Tamaraos here after the strong start of NU.
Maybe reinforcing a statement at halftime. They have to win this game together, so no individual talent can win this game alone. They're gonna have to execute a lot better.
And Cyrus Torres is back on the floor for much-needed shooting for FEU as Chuente pulls down the rebound, couldn't put it back in. Gonzalez tracks it down. LJ, the kick out. Torres Torres puts it on the floor, but shot clock expires for FEU.
Didn't realize that the ball hit the ring, and Coach Olsen is furious. Off that timeout, I think he wanted the play called, but they didn't execute it properly, ending up with a shot clock violation.
Turnover number 10 for the FEU Tamaraws. And Enzo Hoson brings it downhill up against LJ Gonzalez. FEU looking to tighten the screws here defensively. Minerva, turnaround jumper, bothered by Tuffin, but Minerva puts it in.
What a tough shot by Minerva. Spin move, fade away with a hand in his face. That's just a great move.
And everything just falling here for National University. An 11-3 start in the third quarter. Gonzalez with a separation. And he's going to be called for the offensive foul.
Nothing going for the FEU Tamaraws right now to start this third period.
Let's take a look at this move. Difficult shot coming from Minerva, able to put it in our McDonald's instant replay. And Minerva, he's got 4 points here in the third quarter alone. Zone from the corner.
Lucky break for FEU. I think they went with a 2-3 zone off that full court man-to-man press just to change things up, as nothing's going for them against NU.
Torres, FEU dodging a bullet earlier, but the lead is 15 here. Tamaraws, Homeboy driving the dish inside. Ibonia couldn't handle it. Ibonia still has it, puts one up short. And rebound corralled and tracked down by Minerva.
That's just frustrating for FEU. They had the great look off that drive by Ino Homeboy. Ibonia just failed to get his hands on the ball. 3 turnovers now for FEU and 0 for NU.
Now look at the hustle here of Minerva. Again, doing it all for NU here in the third.
And the foul was called on Ibonia. You know, frustrate. I think this is a frustration foul now.
Oxon, pass well read, but they will recover. Oxon pulls the trigger and drops it in from the corner.
Nothing going for FEU and everything going for NU. A turnover waiting to happen, ending up with the ball and a 3-point shot.
Homeboy misfiring on the other end. NU with a commanding 18-point lead. Ildefonso against Homeboy. The kick out to Hoson. Hoson, they got 9 seconds to work with here. Gaye, bothered by the defense of Ibonia and Chuente. 6.5 seconds on the clock here for NU. Let's take a look at the three-pointer here.
Turnover waiting to happen, but the ball is ending up again with NU, and a corner 3-point shot by Oxon, and here the shot block by Chuente Onisa Gaye.
So Coach Olsen continuing to mix things up here. Homeboy heads to the bench. Stockton coming in. Off the inbound, Dave. Short rebound, ending up with LJ Gonzalez. And LJ is on the move. Oh, steps back for the jumper. Little bit too strong. Foul inside. And it's going to be whistled here against RJ Minerva.
RJ Minerva, that's his third personal
Second foul on RJ. And NU not yet in the penalty here. That will be only their third team foul. Third quarter points. You see the eruption right there by National University, Jeff.
14 points already, not even halfway through the third quarter, and they've done it through transition baskets and making their 3-point shots.
And FEU needs the hot shooting version here in the third quarter if they want to stay afloat in this game. Stockton, the dish to Wente, throws it down.
Slam.
So a game-changing play, PS bankable assist of the game coming from Alex Stockton. Parang PS Bank personal loan na maasahan, apply online, no collateral.
Field goals now, 5 of 9 for NU and 2 of 10 for FEU. Hopefully that two-hand jam will get some momentum going on their side.
Gaye missing the free throw line jumper. LJ Gonzalez is on the move. Gonzalez blowing by Hoson, who fouled him from behind.
Man, the speed of LJ. But see over here, off that pass, the closeout and the driving dish for that two-hand jam by Pat Chuete with force.
Oh, look at this hammer. This is the second play for Stockton, and Chuete ending up with the hammer for Pat Chuete. So 53-37. FEU is hoping that could be a start of something here in the third, as they've only scored 5 points. Stockton driving baseline. The dish is well read as we reach again our Gatorade hydration checkpoint here in the third quarter. Ball staying on that side of the court. FEU will have it. Quick timeout called here. A breather for us. A 16-point lead held by NU. To the action, and our Fudgy Bar O-Bar Sasaya, 16-point lead. All reasons to celebrate here for the bench of NU.
A lot of reasons indeed. They jumped out ahead, a huge start in the second half, and now the challenge for NU is can they sustain their energy, can they sustain their aggressiveness to keep up with this lead against FEU.
And FEU with a window of opportunity, especially coming off that Chuente jam earlier. Gonzalez, got a separation here. Alforque on the other side. He's got Sean. Alforque, floater is good.
There we go, a great drive in the floater.
Royce Alforque, that's right, with a Jollibee 100%. Amazing move of the quarter. Halfway done.
Now FEU picking up the defense, being more aggressive. You can see the full court man-to-man, trying to hound the ball handlers of NU.
Ildefonso puts it on the floor, will back down against Stockton. Ildefonso, step back J is off. And ball ending up with Eboña. Here come the FEU Tamaraos. Alforque, the kick out, Stockton to the post. Eboña has the smaller Gallego, and he erases Gallego's defense. Whistled for the offensive foul, rather, is Barkley Eboña.
And to say the least, to the dismay of FEU. As you see here, you know, you try to back him down. Refs though saw something else. He didn't really use the shoulder or anything.
Yeah.
And a good sell by Gallego on that offensive foul.
That was just a slight bump by Barkley Eboña there.
That's frustrating for FEU.
The call will stay here, so it's NU basketball. Pressure applied by the Tamaraos. Sean Ildefonso to Gallego. JV, nagmamadali, will back up and reset the offense. Gallego working against LJ. Ildefonso driving. The dish to Gaia is deflected. And ball staying with the white shirts here with 6 seconds on the clock.
You know, it's interesting to point out FEU and NU really having similar play styles in their offense. Both, I think, run the drive and kick.
Right.
And a lot of high pick and roll. So maybe medyo may kontrapuelo yung FEU, having trouble always with NU. You see the quarter field goals for FEU, 22 out of 4, and the rest of the team only 1 out of 7.
And the basket. Oh, as Oxon knocks in the triple. His second one here in the third quarter. And also from the same spot. That lone basket coming from Royce Alforque earlier.
Good shooting day for Oxon.
17-point lead. Gonzalez couldn't handle it. And NU,
For the Bulldogs.
another window of opportunity to increase their already humongous lead as we see this play. The inbound back to Oxon, and he knocks down the triple.
Sometimes the most dangerous player in an inbound play is the inbounder because you really lose sight of him after he inbounds the ball. So that's just a great move by Oxon to relocate in the corner for a three-point shot.
So good activity here on defense by Royce Alforque, able to get it from JV Gallego and force the foul on him.
That's pressure paying off now for FEU. They need more of this. They have to start playing better defense against NU.
So U is on the floor now for NU alongside JLC, John Lloyd Clemente and JV Gallego, Sean Ildefonso and Isagaye.
And
that completes the 5.
And NU, as the stats showed a while ago, 3 out of 6 now for the three-point line and 0 out of 2 for FEU.
But FEU has been coming back with these baskets from the painted area. Boysen points in the paint. Barkley Ibonya converting.
Well, they've been scoring inside better than NU. NU just shooting the threes a lot better. Medyo, it's a little bit opposite of what you'd expect from both teams.
Kaya andun yung main separation for the NU Bulldogs. Ildefonso, good anticipation from Barkley. Clemente, too strong on the 3. Rebound ending up. It's a strangle between U and Comboy. Nagahanap ng jump ball itong si Wendell Comboy. Let's see the play here. Oh, this was the play earlier. The setup by Ino Comboy to Barkley Ibonya.
That's just a great drive. And again, Ibonya relocating, but Patrick Yu rising up to get that offensive rebound off Comboy. Patrick Yu has really become a little bit of a revelation for Coach Mike. Being inserted, had a great 17-point output. The brother of a friend of mine, Dave Yu, from NU before, former captain and player. They had the same play style actually, same shooting touch.
These guys, they have specific roles for the team, and when they enter the game, that's going to be instant impact off the bench, whether it's defensively or offensively.
Missing the free throw though, Patrick Yu, but yeah, like you said, I think right now, for rookies to come in, I think they should just focus more on the roles that they're given, try to be the best in their role. And Patrick Yu's done a great job coming in, not forcing anything, not over dribbling or over passing, just focusing on his defensive intangibles.
Because that's how you create more playing time for yourself. When you play well, fulfill your role, and hopefully in the future be a main part of this rotation. And FEU on the attack here, just 1 out of 2 earlier coming from you. Ibonya nowhere to go, handing it off to Ino Comboy. Comboy driving, found in the process.
Oh, lucky break for FEU. They were hounded there by the defense of NU, yeah. And Ino Comboy just doing a great job. Last second, getting the ball and drawing a foul for 2 free throws.
Alonzo called for the foul, so FEU with Calle and Ildefonso, Dave Ildefonso on the bench now of the Bulldogs. FEU should be able to take advantage here, Jet.
Yep, they're both top scorers for NU on the bench right now, taking a good breather after the hard work they put in to start the 3rd period.
18 points for Dave and Calle with 13 so far. But Comboy missing the 2nd. Oh, good hustle from Tuffin. Comboy lays it up and in.
That's what I was talking about. Over dribbling there was Patrick Yu, creating a turnover for FEU to score.
That's our yellow cap end-to-end play of the game. And FEU takes it away again. Alforque, the layup is good. So a string of points for the FEU Tamaraos.
That was just a great one-on-one move off that break for Alforque.
And both plays starting from the defensive end earlier. It was Ken Tuffin forcing the steal on you. Comboy ending up with the layup, and then on the other side they trap Sean. Tuffin gets another steal, and then the easy basket on the other end for Alforque.
Al4K just goes to work with that sidestep, dribble step move, ending up with a right-hand layup. That's just a great fast break move.
But on the other side, JV Gallego was able to draw the foul, not in the first free throw. 1 out of 2 for JV. And Comboy gets the rebound. 12-point lead.
12-point game. Just like we both said at the same time. It's a good sign for FEU now.
Al4K, the spin. He was fouled on his way up. And that is Patrick Yu called for the personal.
Let's look over here as how you got the foul. That's a spin move. Oh, there it is, the swipe on the hand by Patrick Yu. As he heads to the bench now for David Defonso. Quality minutes, but you see the sign of the youth of Patrick Yu showing.
But because NU is already in the penalty, that's why that was a wise move coming from Royce Al4K to attack the defense and gets himself a couple of chances at the free throw line. You like the activity coming from Royce Al4K, who was just inserted here in the third quarter by Coach Olsen.
Just the energy of Royce Al4K. Right. You can feel it right away, both sides of the floor, defense and offense, really contributing well for FEU in this run.
8-2 run to be exact for the FEU Tamaraws. And they pull to within 11 in the third quarter. Gallego driving right. Back out to Dave. Dave against Wendell.
Oh,
hard screen by Malonzo, ending up as an offensive foul.
The frustration of Push your mic on that offensive foul. Dave calling for a screen, switching sides, and he hasn't gotten his feet set before Eno Comboy hitting him. Yung mga play na ganyan, Martin, I think that the offensive player with the ball really has to wait for the screener to set his feet before you use the screen.
That's right. So that's a missed chance for NU, but NU gets it back here. Sean on the move. Sean all the way.
The other half of the Demolition Bros. So Sean Ildefonso all the way off that rebound or steal for that layup.
Sean Ildefonso with a C2 fast break off the game. NU back with a 13-point lead. Al4K on the fade. Doesn't get the bounce. And Ildefonso gets the rebound.
A little bit out of control for Al4K there.
Ildefonso blocked. Nunag on the move. 2-on-2. FEU doesn't have the numbers. Nunag all the way, no go.
So both Al4K and Nunag a little bit out of control on those fast break attempts.
Ildefonso short again. One more time, still nothing. And Malonzo with another pull down. Ildefonso still couldn't buy a basket there. 20 seconds remaining.
As things calm down a bit. Last shot time for FEU, and they go to Eno Comboy to create something.
Comboy on top here against Clemente. 8 seconds to work with. Comboy driving left. Comboy flips it up. Too strong. Gallego has time. Gallego 3 seconds. Stops, pops. It drops for JB Gallego.
That's another way to end the quarter 2 times now for JV Gallego in that jump shot.
And a big shot here. Let's take a look at that again. JV Gallego stopping at the right time. Let's see if he released it in time. Yes.
A lot of time left on that clock. Falls down for a little bit of a dramatic effect for JV Gallego.
Basket is good.
Big basket coming from Gallego, and indeed it will count. Our officials just called it. Big basket because that stretches the lead again to 15 for the National University Bulldogs heading into our final chapter. Back to the game here. Jasper Parker in attendance here. And Danny I, the Demolition Man, in attendance as per usual.
Demolition Dad.
Yun na pala yung ano niya ngayon. Francis Stamsy, I think, now in attendance. They both play for Coach Eric Gonzalez and Coach Nash for Iloilo in the MPBL. So they're still part of this FEU family after their collegiate careers. But fourth quarter begins here. As you see the quarter scoring here, back-to-back big quarters coming from the NU Bulldogs. They have the 15-point lead. If you're the FEU Tamaraos, Jet, what should happen here?
They should just play defense. So 23 and 24 points, 24 points and 23 points respectively. That's just too high. I mean, you can't control the offense. Sometimes your shots just don't go down, but you have to execute. You have to play better D and limit, NU from scoring easily.
But NU has been in full control here in the second half. Remember earlier, FEU had a big run to end the third quarter. That was easily fanned out by this NU offense. Gallego, couple of jabs. Too strong on the triple try.
There you
here
go.
comes Jay Gonzalez.
Guess they gotta stop on that play. Let's see if they can convert.
Torres, who's been quiet, overshooting the mark again.
That's just a poor shot. One pass, and it's not a catch-and-shoot steady shot for Torres. It's a great catch-and-shoot player, but not off the pass like that.
Ildefonso putting this one on the floor. Backs up. He goes to his brother Dave. And shot providing the screen. Ildefonso has the smaller Gonzalez. Gallego, pull-up jumper. Oh, denied by Stockton. Iponya is on the move. The kick out. Gonzalez on the blow-by. Torres, the good look. Torres knocks it down.
There we go. That's what I meant. That's his shot. A catch and shoot with his feet set. Able to knock the three down. Live
Vision player of the game. The assist to Cyrus Torres for that big triple.
That came off that block though. You have point out by Stockton. Good defensive effort.
Oh, Malonzo traveled inside. So a basket and the turnover for the FEU Tamaraos. This was the setup job I was talking about earlier. Gonzalez inside going outside to Cyrus Torres.
They set him up twice in a row, and that time you saw his feet was set. And for catch and shoot players, you need that to get balance to knock down your threes easier.
LJ, FEU has a chance again. Torres outside, back to Gonzalez. They got 8 seconds to work with. Gonzalez on the pull-up. Off to the left, ball tapped out, ending up with Clemente.
It's a difficult shot for LJ, the shot clock winding down.
JLZ for three. He drops it in.
And an answer by NU. A big three to counter the momentum of FEU by JLC.
Clemente providing the fire extinguisher there. Eponya puts it on the floor, got inside.
Oh,
that's going to be a foul on Barkley Eponya.
the offensive foul on Eponya. I thought Tuffin got the end one basket, but you see here the display with Dave just reading, and FEU losing sight of a shooter on the weak side. Good shot, good recognition by Dave.
And again, putting out the fire. That was rising earlier. That was getting bigger rather for FEU. Let's take a look at the call here. They're reviewing it. They're trying to verify the right call. Because earlier, this was the drive by Barkley Eponya as he was going in. And then he lost handle of the basketball. Oh, I think that was when it was called jet.
Oh, no, I think this is also the motion after the play. He lost the ball, they didn't call anything, but I think Eponya had the second motion swipe.
But the call happened after both calls, or after
Exactly.
both moves rather.
So the call on the floor.
So it's going to be an offensive foul. Call staying here against Barkley Eponya.
The regular offensive foul.
So 65 to 50. Oxon bringing it downhill. They go to Dave on top. He sets the table for NU. He's got Stockton on him. Hard screen. Ildefonso, pass deflected. Torres with a catch. FEU gets the steal. Alec sidesteps, bothered. Forced one up the glass and in.
What a shot by Stockton. Thinking he had nothing, but just throwing up the board and it trickles in.
Stockton with our Yamaha Mio #1 move. Making something out of nothing. The separation, the feed inside. No! Sorry miss underneath coming from Jonas Tibayan. Alforque. Torres for 3. Off to the right. Eboña ends up with the offensive rebound. Comboy couldn't handle the pass from Eboña. That's a turnover for FEU.
This is the move that we talked about. Stockton with his signature hop step move. Dave caught it, but Stockton just cocking it back and throwing it up off the glass.
Literally at the last moment and second for Alex Stockton.
Channeling a little bit maybe of a John Stockton in that.
Number 31 for
Palanding na.
What a shot.
Second team foul.
Turnover count 14 for FEU, 13 for NU. Let's take a look at this play. A little too aggressive there was Royce Alforque. Running into Oxon. Alforque. Here's the backcourt pressure by FEU. Oson calmly breaks the pressure.
But perimeter points now. NU 29 and FEU just 17.
Yeah.
You gotta wonder where the perimeter players are for FEU.
They got a chunk of their points off their outside shots. Oxon, that one rimming out. Alforque. FEU down by 13. The bounce pass inside. Eboña finishes.
Another inside basket for Eboña. Great pick and roll action on the transition break. And Eboña doing a great job, really consistently rolling hard to the basket.
11-point game. Dave running into a wall. Got it back. Oh, couldn't clean up the mess. Battle for the rebound. Another tip. And finally rebounded here by Royce Alforque.
Multiple attempts by NU on that play, just failing to knock it down.
Homeboy got the contact, no good. And Clemente tracks the ball down.
You gotta note that this is just an 11-point game with 5 minutes 43 left in the game. So FEU with their run now.
Still manageable if you're FEU. Here's the kick out to the corner. No good. Oxon with a miss. Alforque back the other way. Alforque broke free.
Alforque with that crossover move. Right to left shifted. Ending up with a great layup.
So just a single-digit lead for the NU Bulldogs. 56-65. Oxon a big three-pointer short. Comboy with a board. FEU on the attack. Comboy all the way. No!
Ooh. Sorry miss by Eno Comboy.
A 9-point game as we reach our final Gatorade hydration checkpoint.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Wide open layup for vet Eno Comboy, just failing to knock it down.
That was a big opportunity for FEU. Minerva short on the 3, and it is rebounded by Nunag.
So the threes that he used to knock down in the first 3 quarters, failing to knock them down now.
Nunag forcing it up, denied by Minerva there.
I was just gonna note the fatigue setting in for FEU of that defensive effort to get back in the game, as you saw the great moves by both Eboña and here, woo, the crossover, woo, and that smooth left-hand layup and a squad sub now for FEU.
65-56, 6 unanswered points now for the Tamaraws. Earlier, it was a 15-point lead for NU, 65-50. Tuffin looking for a teammate. He's got Isagaye. He breaks down the defense. Tuffin, the kick out. Stockton moved closer. Stockton up and under is good. Scooping the hoop for Alex Stockton. And FEU with an 8-0 run to cut the lead down to 7 points. Timeout on the floor. 65-58. 4:24 remaining here in our fourth quarter. An 8-0 blitz by the FEU Tamaraws here. Now let's take a look at the last couple of plays for them. Alex Stockton providing the latest one here. Up and under, scoop and hoop in our McDonald's instant replay. And that is worth another look, Jet.
Just the activity of the vets and the reliable guys for FEU really coming alive both on defense and offense. And Alex Stockton leading that charge. 6 points and 4 assists now, 1 steal. Guarding Dave Ildefonso.
Remember, this run started with those FEU steals earlier. Oxon dumps it in. Kaya loses handle. And FEU on the attack again.
Big opportunity now for FEU to cut the lead down to 5.
Gonzalez against Huson. LJ, the kick out. Alforque thought about it. Moving closer, runner is good for Royce Alforque.
Alforque coming alive in this quarter with the drive and the deuce.
5-point game. FEU Tamaraws with a 10-0 run. Oxon, Tuffin breaks it up. Runs into the referee there. Ball staying with NU.
That's just the effort of Tuffin. He wanted that steal, wanting it enough to end up in the referee's hands. As you see here, LJ Gonzalez, good read. Oxon shifted down, passing it to Alforque and forcing a closeout and a great attack.
And such energy given here by the FEU Tamaraws in the last few moments. Ildefonso throws it away. LJ is on the move. Gonzalez all the way!
Gonzalez!
What a blitz by FEU, now down to 3 points.
LJ Gonzalez with a Jollibee 100% amazing move of the quarter. We have a 1-possession game, folks. 3 minutes remaining. Clemente, no good. And an opportunity for FEU to trim the lead to 1 or tie with a 3-pointer. Here's the kick out. Stockton for 3. Stockton for the tie.
What a pass and what a shot. Alex Stockton, wide open 3.
15-0 run by the Tamaraws to pull even. 2.5 minutes remaining.
What a game.
8th deadlock off the game. Hoson. The dish, broken up by Tuffin. NU with another turnover. Tuffin will back up and send it out to Alforque.
Stockton wants the ball on Dave. Never mind. Giving it back up.
An opportunity for FEU to take the lead. 6 seconds left on their clock. Alforque got the lane. Alforque gets the lead.
Alforque doing magic. Pick and roll action up top, realizing he's a guy and not fast enough underneath, and just ending up with a big layup for the lead.
And on cue as we enter the PS Bank last 2 minutes, PS Bank pa send via mobile ang padala mo cash agad in minutes. From 18 points down, FEU has come back and they've taken the lead, and they get another stop on their end. Gonzalez, Tuffin for 3. Too strong.
That would have brought the house down.
Yeah, I was about to say. The crowd was up on their feet for that one. Dave Ildefonso pulls the trigger and knocks it down. A big 3-pointer from Dave.
Who do they go to? Who does NU go to? That's the question of this drought. And NU knowing that Dave will rise to the occasion. Big shot.
NU overtaking again. 2-man game. Good patience coming from Bartley Ibonia.
Patience is right again. Great job on that roll by Bartley Ibonia. Shot faking and making off Isagaye.
And FEU back in front, 69-68. Coach Jamaic calls for time. A furious rally here in the fourth quarter. Coming from the FEU Tamaraos, again down earlier in the game by as many as 18 points. They were down 15 in the last stretch of this fourth quarter, and then they made that 17-0 run. And one of the biggest factors, biggest reasons why, is the activity of this guy, Royce Alforque, 11 points today, Jet.
We're coming into the game with that energy. 11 points. Way above his season average of 1.9 points per game, and the points that he produced,
right,
the most crucial of them all, leading the game.
But you know this NU team has a go-to guy. Oh, but they lose possession. NU turns the ball over again, and they leave Ebonia open.
Oh!
Good recovery, though, coming from Clemente.
Wow, what a lucky break for NU. He's a guy losing track of his man. Ebonia just sprinting down, but JLC there to save the day.
Oh, that's a clean strip,
that's a clean block.
Timeout for the FEU.
69-68, Coach Olsen calls for a ceasefire. And we're just getting started here inside the Big Dome. NU FEU for the first game. Up next, it is going to be the USD Growling Tigers going up against the UE Red Warriors. That should be good, as both teams are starting to gain momentum here in the second round. But going back to this game, 68-69, NU with only one field goal in the last 7 minutes of this game, and that was a three-pointer earlier by David Defonso. Stockton here, the numbers.
9 points, 4 out of 7.
And 7 in this quarter alone for Alex Stockton. Gonzalez, big possession for FEU. Ebonia, the fake, the kick out, LJ short stab. That's too strong. Oh! But Tuffin hustling for the rebound.
That's just a leadership of Ken Tuffin, really diving for the ball, crashing the offensive rebounds. See over here, coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, got a lot of contact on that play, but you know that's what Tuffin brings, and I think he really spearheaded. You know, coming to halftime, he talked about his message to his teammates as the team captain, and the effort just surpassing everything that they produced in that first half.
And again, Ken Tuffin is coming off his best performance of the season against UP with 18 points. But today, he has provided the leadership. Hasn't scored that much, only 5 points for Ken Tuffin. But again, the vocal leader that he is, spearheading this attack in the second half for FEU.
It's the value of a steady vet. That's why he's on the floor. He's not scoring a lot of points. But with plays like these, off this review now, it's like Ken Tuffin, they got his hand last on the ball, but a lot of contact on that play.
A lot of contact from behind, coming from Isagaye on Ken Tuffin there, but indeed, yeah, it looked like Ken Tuffin had the last fingertips on the ball. But let's see, they're trying to verify it, and they're just trying to make sure, because this is going to be, a game-changing possession, if ever.
It's a big possession for both teams. 1 point game, FEU up by 1, 34 seconds left. If NU gets the ball, they have a chance to lead.
Yeah.
And if FEU gets it, they have a shot at extending the lead to 3 or extending it to a 2-possession game. So It's a huge call now by the referees.
Coaching staff of the FEU Tamaraws there. And coaching staff of the NU Bulldogs. Coach Jamike, assistant coach Jeff Napa, also there earlier. But let's see what the final call will be here. Oh,
FEU
will have it.
FEU Tamaraws.
I think we have to point out, Martin, that if the replay is inconclusive,
Right.
the technical team or the referees will stay with the call on the floor, and the call on the floor was FEU ball, so ending up now in FEU's hands.
All right. So another crack at the basket for the FEU Tamaraws. Can they take advantage? No! Gonzalez throws it away. Gallego. NU with a humongous chance here. Clemente for three. Knocks it down!
What a big three-point shot by JLC, and the fans erupt.
Timeout for the FEU Tamaraws.
And JLC, given the chance there, hand in his face, didn't matter. Dropped in the triple and a 2-point lead for NU. What a game we are having here in the first offering on a Wednesday morning. Now look at this last shot. Gallego got in the dish out to John Lloyd Clemente, clearly behind the line, stroking in the triple to give NU the 2-point advantage.
Oh, Superman. John Lloyd Clemente bring out the S in his chest, and that's just a huge shot. Great drive and kick by JV Gallego.
But FEU has a lot of time to work with here, and because they are advancing the ball, they only have 14 seconds to work with on their side of the court.
If you're gonna ask me if they're gonna go for a quick two or a last-second heave, I think they're gonna first look for a quick two opportunity to tie the ball game at 19.8 and get a stop on the other end. But if none goes that way, you gotta give me a pick and roll up top for Wendell Comboy.
Let's see where they will go here. About 5 seconds difference between the clocks. Ebonia able to catch the ball. Ebonia driving, got in. Ebonia scores it and ties it up at 71 apiece.
What a huge shot by Bartley Ebonia. Hounding defense, switching up a guard, ending up on him. A big, just driving at the skills on this guy, and a big shot.
Our 9th deadlock of the game, 71 all. 14 seconds left, and you will have it after this. Big basket after big basket in the last minute of this game. And you see the numbers here coming from John Lloyd Clemente. We asked earlier who's going to help out the Ildefonso brothers, and a lot helping out today for NU.
Well, John Lloyd Clemente, 11 points. He had 4 from 3. Actually above a season average of 8 points per game. And none bigger than his game-leading shot a while ago for 3. But Barkley Eponia, talking about huge baskets. Look at this guy, 15 points and 12 rebounds, plus 18 off efficiency. And that huge game-tying basket. That's just his experience and composure. But now I think he's heading to the bench for a smaller unit for Coach Olsen now.
But NU will have it here with 14 seconds remaining. They can go for the win here. Gallego has it against Alforque. JV is working it. Gallego gets fouled. Oh, but FEU not yet in the penalty, and that was on the floor.
I was losing my cool a little bit, but that's just a foul. I thought it was a steal, and I thought it was a shooting foul, actually. Stockton was caught reaching in on that play, I think, or Alforque.
Oh, Stockton was the one who reached in.
Exactly.
From the outside. So 71 all still. 5.7 seconds remaining here. FEU with 1 foul to give. No timeouts left for both teams. Oson will trigger this one in.
Again, you have to note, like you said, 1 foul to give for FEU. Let's see what, why or how they call it.
Oson. They get it to JV again. Gallego blowing by the defense. 3 seconds to shoot. Gallego for the win. Short. And we go to extra time to open day 15 of your UAAP Season 82. What a game. What a finish here inside the Big Dome. 71 all. 5 more minutes coming up next here on SNA. We go back inside the Big Dome here in the Araneta Coliseum. 5 more minutes to decide this game. Overtime up next between the NU Bulldogs and the FEU Tamaraos. And this is the 5th overtime game here in the UAAP Season 82. Second one for FEU. They're 1-0. Their second straight overtime game. Of course, they won their previous matchup against UP. And for NU, this is their 3rd one of the season. They're 0-2 in overtime games.
The momentum is actually on the side now of FEU after that huge run a while ago. But in this 5 minutes, it's going to be crucial who scores first. Usually, you know, we say, or from my experience, the first 5 points actually of either team is really crucial in the overtime period with 5 minutes to play. With Isagayan getting fouled and the opportunity to score the first 2 points for NU in the overtime period.
And this might be a great idea if your national university get Isagaye involved again, because he scored 13 points, I think, at halftime. At the half, he scored 13, and this is his first point in the second half.
So it looks like they veered away from the focus that they had to get him in the offensive rhythm. So that might have contributed to their struggles offensively, especially in that 4th quarter. Right now, you know, he scored the first 2 points, but let's see if they keep going back at him.
Achuente quickly back in for the Tamaraos. 73-71, Kaya 2 for 2. Alforque brings it down. Royce will set up the offense of FEU. They go to the other side. Gonzalez against Hoson. Comboy on top here. 7 seconds to shoot for FEU. Comboy against Clemente. Comboy needs to put one up. Comboy, no good on the jumper. Ball ending up with Chuente. A wild putback right there by Patrick. And NU wins the battle for the loose ball.
You know, Coach also put back 20 in the game after that huge run by the smaller unit of FEU. Matchup with Isagaya, but you know, I think he's gonna go back to his small unit soon.
Tap from behind, Gonzalez to Gaye. Gaye, one hop in, no good. Gonzalez with the rebound. And LJ quickly back the other way for the Tamaraos.
Quick pick and rolls, the drive and kick now for both teams. Let's see if one team can convert off it.
Tough in for 3. No good.
That's a struggle. The struggle continues for Ken Tuffin. Just 1 3-point made throughout the game, and 1 out of 6.
Yeah. A far cry from his performance against UP. Ildefonso, step back jumper is good. That's a big triple coming from Dave.
You asked me a while ago, and that's what I meant. The first 5 points off this overtime was given now by NU. Great triple. This huge shot by Dave Ildefonso.
Early 5-point cushion here by the NU Bulldogs. Gonzalez, no good. Rebounded by Royce Alforque. Banker is off as well.
That's frustrating for Alforque. And FEU failing to get a good look. This is going to be troublesome now as we reach a 3-minute mark.
Gallego losing that one out. FEU now on the other side of the fence, because in that game against UP, UP was the one who came back in the 4th quarter and forced overtime. Here's the step back first by Dave Ildefonso, dropping that one in cold-blooded.
Ice in his veins. No, Dave, you know, the first game coming into the season is how he performed in that overtime loss. But right now, unfazed. He wants the ball back again.
Dave has 24 points across his name. Hoson. Clemente! Kaboom for JLC!
And he's enjoying it. The combination of Dave and Clemente doing wonders for NU today.
8-0 start in overtime for NU. Alforque splits the D. Stockton tries to stop the bleeding, too strong. Comboy with the rebound. Chuente on the roll, and he will be fouled on his way up. And FEU contesting that was an unsportsmanlike foul. Let's see what the final call will be.
Here you see the drive and a kick again to Clemente. Huge shots by JLC.
14 points now for JLC. 4 triples in the game.
Play stops, play stops, and the referees of FEU is contesting that foul on Pat Chuente as he rolled through the hoop, contesting that was excessive contact on that foul, not going for the ball.
All right.
Unsportsmanlike foul.
So,
number 15,
a big turn here, Jet.
That's an unsportsmanlike foul on that drive, like you talked about, Pat Chuente receiving that foul.
Yeah.
2 shots.
So it wasn't a play for the basketball. It was called for an unsportsmanlike foul. Chuente has an opportunity at the free throw line. Couple of shots and the possession for the Tamaraos.
That's a big missed free throw. They needed that one. That's another opportunity though.
Big window opened here for FEU. Chuente's second one. Up and in for Pat. 79-72 is the count. And LJ Gonzalez makes his way back to the game here, replacing Royce Alforque. And Cyrus Torres also checking in for Alex Stockton.
A few more shooters now on the offensive end for FEU. Cyrus Torres and Ino Comboy checking in.
So FEU trying to weather the storm here in overtime. Comboy gets it to Gonzalez. LJ Attacking Hoson all the way to the hoop is LJ Gonzalez.
That's the speed. Beating his man one-on-one off the extended man-to-man defense by NU and just an easy layup.
So that's a 3-point swing for the FEU Tamaraos. Dave got swarmed up top, and he will head to the line for a couple of shots. Good attack right there coming from Dave Ildefonso.
Here though, that extended man-to-man, you're too close. You can't be too close to a speedy player, fast. Just like LJ Gonzalez, but Dave Ildefonso just taking it fearlessly to the hole. Clear foul on Ken Tuffin.
So big free throws coming up here for Dave Ildefonso.
Huge double-double performance. 24 points and 10 rebounds for the main man for NU. Coming up big today in the clutch.
At the free throw line though, he has been shaky today, 4 out of 8, but he takes care of business on the first one.
They're making it up with his 3-point shooting today. 3 out of 9. No, sorry, 5 out of 8 from 3. So, you know, making up, that's a good makeup for 3 points for free throws.
Correct.
I want to take that.
Pwede na. Homeboy here on top, 7-point game. Torres the open look. Ooh, too strong for the rookie.
Overcooked that one.
Chuente gets it back. And ball staying with FEU with almost 3 seconds left on their clock, 2.8 to be exact.
A rebound and a swipe. There you go, that swipe down low on Pat Chuente. That's out of bounds on NU. But that's a huge opportunity for Cyrus Torres and FEU. But Dave Ildefonso, look at his numbers. 26 points, 8 out of 17 from the field, and 10 rebounds. Huge, huge double-double for his team right now.
Tuffin got the fake, but didn't make the shot after. Here's the poke by Tuffin. Oh, FEU gets it back. And Tuffin makes up for his mistake.
The FEU can't relax right now. They can't think that the game is over. This is very, very manageable. 1 minute 33, but you know, I'm gonna have to say in this possession specifically, they have to score. They have to score in this possession.
They've only scored 3 points so far here in the overtime period. The basket earlier by Gonzalez and the free throw by Pachuente. Gonzalez against Gaye. Gonzalez pulls up. Too strong. And ball ending up with Isa Gaye here. 3 players swarming Gaye. And FEU will be called for the whistle.
That's 2 shots now. That's a 5th foul on FEU. I don't know about this one, but there's 2 huge free throws by Isa Gaye.
Right. To extend the lead and possibly ice it. 1 minute and 20 left. Isa Gaye to the free throw line. He's got 15 points. Oh, missing on the first though. That is his first miss today. 5 out of 5 before that. 81-74 still.
Isa Gaye's numbers though, 15 points and 10 rebounds. 13 points in the first quarter. But now he got a double-double, you know, way above his season averages, so he's aggressive and he's paying off today.
So the NU Bulldogs with a safer cushion here, 8-point lead going into this timeout. Abanto on your screens with a dribbling exhibition. And coming up next, UE Red Warriors will face the UST Growling Tigers in our second game today, second offering here inside the Big Dome, the Araneta Coliseum. We hope to see that in the game later.
That's the first time I've seen a warm-up like that. We don't one-on-one yung cameraman
Oo, di ba? Yung bantay niya yung cameraman. 82-74 here as we resume the ball game in overtime. A little over a minute left. Comboy turns around. Ooh, in and out on the free.
That's just deflating now for FEU. In and out three-point shot for Wendell Comboy. And it's going to be difficult to say the least to come back from this.
That's right. Last 60 seconds of this game. Gallego, Ildefonso. Ildefonso on the drive, met by Tuffin, but there was a foul first.
Dave Ildefonso just doing the right thing, not settling. You know, for outside shots, he's been shooting well today, like we mentioned. But you know, this crucial stretch of the game, taking it hard to the hole and getting himself to the free throw line.
And on the free throw line,
Showing his maturity here in overtime, Jet.
That's the exact word. Right there, Martin, the maturity now for Dave. I think the first round, the experiences he's felt and dealt with, the heartbreak losses, maybe, you know, the team now learning and coming out with better maturity for this game.
1 out of, or 1-7 right now are the NU Bulldogs trying to snap that 2-game losing skid. 27 points and 11 rebounds. Huge performance here by Dave Ildefonso.
1-3-1 zone, but a small lineup for NU.
Gonzalez, Stockton, no. Oh, Tuffin couldn't get it, but Gonzalez picks it up. That's a travel on LJ. And FEU, all sorts of trouble here in the overtime period.
See what happened. The shot was taken, a hard fall by Tuffin, and 3 FEU players diving for the ball. Yeah, but you can't do that. You're on the floor, Martin, you have the ball in your hands. You can't roll over, and you can't stand up on both your feet. So, good call by your referees now.
And NU Bulldogs, 41.7 with a comfortable 19-point lead. Let's see, we have a foul first. Stockton will be called for this one. So 2 shots coming up for Dave Ildefonso. This is the inbound earlier. Yeah, Stockton.
Yeah, that's a clear foul off that double team. And again, Dave Ildefonso ending up in the free throw line, splitting his free throws a while ago, but has a chance to make both now.
Dave Ildefonso.
What an overtime period here for the NU Bulldogs, outscoring FEU 12-3, and it started with a string of 3-pointers from both Dave Ildefonso and JC Clemente earlier, or John Lloyd Clemente earlier.
Yeah, but the start really, I mentioned the first 5 points, or the first maybe 8 points for NU today. That's just the most crucial points in the overtime period. You set the tone. 2 free throws by Isagaya getting on the line, and then a big 3-point shot by Dave Ildefonso just, you know, led the charge.
And that was big because we were saying Astores drops in the triple. 83-77 here is the count. We initially were saying before overtime started that FEU clearly had the momentum, but we'll go to a break first here with NU on top by 6.
Basket is good for Cyrus Torres, 3 points.
All right, a big triple earlier coming from Cyrus Torres to trim the lead down to 6 points. A 2-possession game here with just a half-minute remaining here in the overtime period. And FEU will try to pressure the basketball, and they're hoping to get a steal in this next sequence.
You see that both guards now are in the passing lane immediately. Not behind the defenders, but forcing a lob pass over them.
But NU calmly getting it in. Oh! Combo gets the steal. Torres another free. No good. Tuffin pulls it down and puts it back in. We got a 4-point game all of a sudden. FEU still pressuring. Hoson sends it over. And that's a foul on Ken Tuffin as he was trying to prevent JLC from passing that ball away.
That's a great press, a great steal. A missed shot by Torres, but Tuffin, with no big man around, just grabs the rebound and puts it back in. 4-point game, partner, 17 seconds left. These are huge free throws. You can't take these for granted for JLC.
So John Lloyd Clemente heading to the line, his first trip today. Oh, missing on the first.
Yeah, that's a big miss. And maybe the factor, like you mentioned, the first trip today, he's been making a lot of big 3-point shots with 14 points and 8 rebounds, but free throws.
1 out of 2 for JLC. Slight opening for the FEU Tamaraos opened here. Gonzalez comes back in.
Watch out, Martin. You remember we talked about their capability full court to create something immediately, and we're gonna see it today right now.
Gonzalez needs to go quickly. Fouled right away by Oxon, but that was a good foul.
Yeah.
Only their second team foul.
That's a good foul to stop that transition opportunity with LJ Gonzalez with the ball. Two team fouls for NU, so they still have 3 team fouls to go before the penalty situation. They have to use it wisely.
Yeah. So FEU will have it again. They need to go quickly. Stockton getting strangled there. And we have another foul. Another foul, and you could afford.
Yep, that's a... Oh.
Holding foul number 8, Miguel
shots.
That's his second personal 13 foul.
Oh, let's see. It looked like it was on the floor, but they're gonna give.
Oh no, it's inbound. Yeah, so it's a foul on the floor.
So just a sideline inbound here for the FEU Tamaraos. Stockton was getting ready at the free throw line.
Yeah, coach was getting ready for 2 free throws, but the ref saw otherwise and called it on the ground.
Homeboy, step back. Homeboy bothered. Gonzalez needs to put one up. LJ off to the right, and that should be it. Sean Ildefonso ending up with the rebound. Fouled quickly from behind by Ken Tuffin. 5.1 seconds remaining.
Ken Tuffin now fouls out. If the foul is on him, as you see that bad miss. And LJ Gonzalez 3-point shot. Sean Ildefonso receiving the ball over.
Yeah, crowded.
The foul on Stockton. Foul on Stockton.
And Stockton and Gonzalez clashing after that.
Face mask protecting the face of Stockton.
The banker at the free throw line here.
Kamot ulo to si Sean Ildefonso after shooting that back shot.
Nanigurado.
I don't know if he did that on purpose, but he's gonna take that one.
85-79, Sean with a second one. Doesn't get the bounce. Tuffin tried to get it to Comboy. 2 seconds left. Alforque the heave. And that will do it. The NU Bulldogs will snap their 2-game losing skid, get back on the winning track, and sweep the FEU Tamaraos here in the UAAP Season 82, escaping the furious rally of FEU in the 4th quarter.
After dominating for NU, after dominating the first 3 quarters, a huge run by FEU to come back and tie the ball game, but too much in overtime. FEU losing its gas, not being able to sustain that energy, and NU catching their breath and realizing what they need to get back to come away with that huge overtime victory. So a big win for NU to get themselves into 2-7, and a big loss by big opportunity loss by FEU to drop to 4-5.
And this is the complete opposite again of FEU's game against UP. Ngayon sila naghabol, natalo sila. Let's take a look at our PS Bankable player of the game. PS Bank Home Loan. Isang araw lang may bahay ka na, and who else but this guy, Dave Ildefonso. Humongous numbers today, Jet.
Huge numbers for him, to say the least. 27 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and offensively, he just dominated and led the charge for NU, doing it from all parts of the floor, right, from inside, outside, and the dying seconds, knowing who to go to, getting to the free throw line, and that was him throughout the game.
The overtime takeover coming from Dave Ildefonso, and our Dataland Residential's quality win was won, of course, by the NU Bulldogs, back on the winning track here in Season 82. They go up to 2-7 in our season.
Yep, that's a huge win for them. They still have an outside shot to get to the Final Four with the 2-7 record,
right,
but let's see what happens in the second round.
And this is our AXA Know You Can player of the game. Started off strong for the NU Bulldogs. Isa Gaye posts down a double-double today against his main matchup, Pachuente.
Talked about this matchup, and we talked about the challenge that we had for both players, and specifically Isa Gaye. He started the game strong, and you did a great job to get him into the rhythm to start the ball game. 13 points in that first half. You know, didn't feel his presence in the second half, but the amount of push that he gave in that first half really just led the NU Bulldogs to start the game strong and end up with a win.
Jet, always a pleasure, but again, coming up next, don't go away. USTUE will square off for a second game. Excellent game. Jet here, final thoughts.
That's just a huge win, a good maturity for NU now, realizing all their heartbreak losses in the first half. So they deserve this win, really, and for FEU, it's just a huge opportunity that they lost. They're tied with a three-way tie in that fourth quarter, in the middle of the pack. So right now, they dropped 4 and 5, but there's still a long season ahead, and they still have a good shot to actually make the Final Four. So the players that they need to produce, they just have to produce.
So again, a strong victory here for the NU Bulldogs, winning at 85-79 over the FEU Tamaraos today. Now, on behalf of the entire broadcast team, at the helm, we have Direk Raul de Ocampo, my partner here, Jet Manuel, our two courtside reporters, Baileys Akot and Maris Domingo. This is Martin Javier saying thank you for catching the first game here, but don't go away. 2 more games coming up here in our Wednesday triple header in your UAAP Season 82 Wednesday edition right here on SNA.